Get pumped up for example 5. It's going to be cat-tastic. Let's do it. Okay, so example 5, again, we're going to rewrite our quadratic as a perfect square trinomial. So our final answer will be a binomial square. And again, in example 5, we're going to use our nifty shortcut. So let's get going. So we're going to do our b over 2 squared, our magical formula that will force this thing to be a perfect square trinomial. Okay, my b is going to be -7. Okay, but if you guys see here, -7 over 2 does not reduce down. Okay, so we're going to have to square the fraction. So there's two ways of looking at this. Okay, when you square a fraction, so this could be like -7/2. When you square something, it means you multiply it to itself. So you could rewrite this as -7/2 times -7/2, which means you go straight across when you multiply. So -7 times -7 is 49, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, or if you like shortcuts, you could also just square the numerator and denominator. So you could say -7 squared, -7 times -7 is 49, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so that is also the same thing as, so you could have also said like -7 squared over 2 squared. So that's the shortcut if you like shortcuts. Okay, so our magical number is 49/4. Okay, now all we're going to do, we're going to square root. Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. The demon cats are getting me. Sorry, guys. Those silly demon cats. Let's see here. Okay, so for our shortcut to rewrite this as a perfect square trinomial, we are going to square root the first term and the last term, and then take the sine in the second term, and then we're going to be done. Okay, so the first term is x squared, which the square root of x squared is going to be x. X times x is x squared. And also, guys, don't forget a square root cancels out a squared. So that's also how you can get an x. Okay, so I already put x in my parenthesis. Ignore this part for now. We're going to have to rewrite our answer. Okay, but we're going to write these two answers in here. So I already got the x. Okay, the third term is going to be the square root, which I didn't really leave a lot of space for this. The square root of 49/4. Which, don't forget, when we square root a fraction, you can also, since we can't simplify the fraction down any further, you can just square root the numerator and then square root the denominator separately, which that says 49/4. I know I didn't leave a lot of space. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so I can square root the numerator and denominator. So the square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of 4 is 2. So it's going to be 7/2. Okay, so then I'm going to write 7/2 in my parenthesis. So 7/2. Oh, not over there. Okay, and then don't forget the shortcut. You're going to take the sine of the second term, which the second term in my equation is negative. It's that -7x. Okay, so it's negative. Okay, now, remember, we typically don't write fractions in our parentheses. So we need to rearrange this fraction to make that fraction go away. So I'm going to move, remember, you move the denominator in front of the x term. So I'm going to move the 2 in front of the x. So for my final answer, it'd be 2x, and then we're going to leave the 7 alone. So -7. And look at that. We have found the perfect square trinomial, and we were able to write that as a binomial squared. Excellent job, everyone.